Good day, children. Today in this video we will see finite and non-finite verb along with participle, infinitive and gerunds. Verbs can be finite or non-finite. Okay? There are two kind of verbs which can be finite or non-finite. Finite verb is a main verb in the sentence. It has a subject and changes its form to show its tense and numbers. That means if I say I like to play, if I say to someone else, if I mention someone else, I will say it as she likes to play, not she like to play. So that is how it changes its form to show tens and numbers, and it stands alone, and it is the root of an independent sentence. Okay, which is not a dependent sentence, it is an independent sentence, which is a main verb. I stand on the pavement is a independent sentence. The man runs to the store to get gallon of milk. The man runs to the store to get gallon of milk. Runs is the finite verb because it agrees with the subject man, and because it marks the tense present tense, runs. Okay, so if I say the man runs to the store, it's a complete sentence. The man runs to the store is a complete sentence. Runs is the finite verb here. Next, non-finite verb does not have a subject and does not change its form to show tens or numbers. It doesn't have any subject, it doesn't connect with the subject, nor it doesn't show any tens or numbers. For example, if I say I'm standing on the pavement, and if I mention some other person, I will say it as they are standing on the pavement, he is standing on the pavement, she is standing on the pavement. Standing is a constant word where it doesn't change its form. Okay? He is going out. We are going out. Okay? Non-finite verb is nothing but it's not a finite verb at all. It's just opposite to a finite verb. I heard him shout at me. I hated to leave him. These are both examples of the infinitive form of a verb. Infinitives are type of a non-finite verb. Okay. Infinitives are the next type of non-finite verb. It comes under non-finite verb. Infinitives are of two types, which is bare infinitive and to infinitive. Now let's be clear. Finite verb, we saw that it's very simple. It changes its tense, it changes into numbers, and it is a complete sentence. It is a root for a complete sentence. It is a main verb. Non-finite verb is nothing but not a finite verb. That's it. That's why we call it as non-finite verb. Okay? Non-finite verb. Under non-finite verb we have infinitive, participle and gerunds. Now we are going to see infinitives. What is infinitive? Sentence 1 is an example of bare infinitive. We use the bare infinitives after certain main verbs such as see, hear, watch and so on. We use it after modal auxiliary verbs such as can, could, shall, will, may and must. Auxiliary verbs are nothing but helping verbs, modal verbs. Okay. Now in the first sentence you can see I heard him shout at me. I heard him shout at me. So, what is the main verb here? What is the main verb here? Heard is the main verb and shout is the infinitive. Next, I hated to leave him. Sentence 2 is an example of the to infinitive, which is very easy to find out. We use the to infinitive after the main verb as above. We also sometimes add an object or an adverbial after to the infinitive. Okay, now listen. I hated to leave him. To leave him. Now what is the main verb here? After the main verb, hated is the main verb, to leave him is an infinitive. Let us look into a brief form. The word to is frequently used with an infinitive, but it is not an essential part or sign of it. It's not very essential to use to. Okay? When an infinitive is used without the marker to, it is called as bad infinitive. If it doesn't have a to in that, then that is called as bad infinitive. Infinitives after certain main verbs such as see, hear, watch, make, let, need, dare, and so on. These all come under a bad infinitive. Now let us see the example. Let him read. Let him read. So the highlighted word in red, let, is a main verb. Read is a bad infinitive. She made me cry. Made is a main verb. Cry is an infinitive. We use it after modal auxiliaries such as can, could, shall, will, may, might, should, would, and must. Auxiliary verbs, as I said before, is a helping verbs, modal verbs. Now let's see the example. You must obey my instructions. You must obey my instructions. Must is the main verb. Obey is the infinitive. Okay? And you should not form a sentence like, not you must to obey my instructions is wrong. That's why I said before, it is not an essential part or sign of it. To is not an essential or important part of infinitives. We have two types in infinitives, which is bad infinitive and to infinitive. It's not necessary to add to all the time. That's why I said this. You must to obey my instructions is wrong. It's just like you must obey my instructions. Now if I ask to identify the infinitive and to underline the main verb, what will you do? Main verb is must. You must. Must is the main verb. Obey. Again, obey is a infinitive. You should connect to call on time. Not you should to connect to call on time. That's wrong. You need not to use to here. It's a bad infinitive. So what is should? Should is a auxiliary verb. Okay, it's a main verb, and connect is the infinitive. Now let's take a clear picture of infinitives. She wants to play tennis. It's to infinitive, which is an object. Why do I call it as an object? Because it doesn't modify the sentence. It doesn't modify the verb. She wants to play tennis. To play tennis is an object. I want to climb the building. To climb the building is an object. Catherine wants to maintain a healthy lifestyle. To maintain a healthy lifestyle is an object. She learned to read and write English in Kenya. To read and write English in Kenya is an object. She wants to play in the tournament. This is different. She wants to play in the tournament is adverbial because here the verb has been modified. She wants to play somewhere else in the tournament. Okay, it's not just a hobby, but she is wanting to play in the tournament. Next, to climb the building, I need extra strength. Again, the verb has been modified. It's like to climb the building, I need. That need has been modified to extra strength. So that is adverbial. Now listen. Yes, now it's your turn to find out whether It is an infinitive. And what kind of infinitive? It is a to infinitive, of course, but what kind in that? Whether it's an object or an adverbial. Bill opened the door to let me into the room. Yes, you're correct. Bill opened the door. To let is the infinitive, to infinitive, of course. And what kind it is? It is adverbial, me into the room. Here are some examples of infinitives. Rohan may visit us later this month. Now identify the main verb and the infinitive. Main verb is may. Visit is the infinitive. I could run over to the shop for some milk. I could. Could is the main verb. Run over is the infinitive. What would you prefer to eat? Prefer again is a main verb. To eat is the to infinitive. She helped him to clean the house. Helped is the main verb. To clean is the to infinitive. I let him go. Very simple. Let is the main verb. Go is the infinitive.